welcome back to Dungeon Command. We are doing the Goblins versus the Undeath, and I completely forgot Delithron Everett's, the Undeath leader's ability, and that is he gains 1 leadership for each enemy creature destroyed during his turn, and I didn't do that when we destroyed the Wolf and the Goblin Cutter. So I'm going to increase his leadership right now. It's at 11, and it's going to go to 13 to fix that error. Try and remember that in the future. Alright, Undeath goes first, so we will go to their area and begin. Alright, so the first thing we do, of course, is the refresh phase, which is untap any creatures and gain 1 command card. So we'll do that for the Undeath player, and so they've done that. And now it is activate creatures, while Delithron Everett only has 2 creatures to activate. So he has a zombie which has 20 damage on him, so we'll activate him. And he has a speed of 4, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Move there. No, he's going to try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. And 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's where I wanted him, right there. Alright, and he's not going to do anything, so it's going to be his turn. And next up is the Skeletal Lancer, which has a speed of 8. And he is going to head this way. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the reason it was 6, 7, because it's rough terrain right there. So he is just going to sit there for the moment. And he's also not going to do anything. All right, so that is the activations, because we have no ranged attacks. And now we're going to get to the deploy phase, and we're going from 13 to 14 leadership now. And the Undeath can deploy creatures. So I'm going to have a look at what they have. He only has 5 up to 14, so he can deploy 9 worth of creatures. And he is going to deploy the Vampire Stalker with level 4. Has Dex, Con, and Charisma trait, 80 hit points. Does a 30 melee attack, and has a special ability, Life Drain. Whenever a target takes damage from this creature's melee attack, this creature heals 10. So he's like a life leech. And we'll get another zombie on the board. Alright, so we're going to have 2 zombies, 1 damaged, 1 not. And the Vampire Stalker. So the Vampire Stalker miniature is this one. And we're going to put him out here in this corner. And another zombie, which we already know what they look like. Put him beside the vampire. And we have to remember that this zombie is the one that's damaged. So I'm going to use these little tokens here. Little 1 tokens. We'll put 1 on him and 1 on the card. Alright. That's it for the deployment, and now it is refreshing refreshing any untapping creatures, end of turn abilities, and drawing up to the creature hand size. So he's going to draw 2 more creatures from his deck. Alright, and look at those. Okay, over to the Goblin player. Okay, it's the Goblin's turn now. The first thing we do is untap any creatures. We don't have any tapped. And we retrieve 1 order card. And we have Goblin Warcry. And you need a level 3 character that has a Charisma trait, which our Hobgoblin Sorcerer does have. And it says, Hobgoblins, and Bugbear creatures you control deal plus 10 damage with melee and range attacks until the end of this turn. So that's a pretty good card for us to have. So we'll put that with our order cards. And now we'll activate creatures 1 at a time. So let me readjust the camera and we'll get to activating. I also should mention here that we do have a start of turn effect, and it's on the Feral Troll, and it's regenerate 10. It says at the start of the controller's turn, this creature heals 10 damage. Well, our troll is not damaged at all, so I've been skipping over it, but that is a start of turn effect. So the first creature that I'm going to have activate this time is going to be our Hobgoblin Soldier, and he's just going to move 1 space here and retrieve a treasure, and that's going to be his entire activation. So we're going to increase our morale from 12 to 13 for gathering the treasure, and that's going to tap our Hobgoblin Soldier, And next up is going to be our, let's just go right up top here and we'll quickly do our little Goblin Archer. So he's just going to stay on the treasure. He's going to activate the treasure, which is going to give us another morale for his action. So we're going to go from 13 up to 14. And now we will have him move, and he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to here. Was that the best use of his movement? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He could actually have diagonally gone to this spot. So we'll put him here. And that is the Goblin Archer's turn. The Feral Troll, we're just going to march him straight into the action, I think. And we're going to have him go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. He's not too afraid. He has the regeneration ability. He's not going to do anything there, though. Of course, he can't reach. And last up is our Hobgoblin Sorcerer. And I think our Hobgoblin Sorcerer is going to take a shot at the zombie if he has a clear range and line of sight. But let me just check that first. All right, a miscalculation on the part of the undeath player. This zombie is completely within a clear view of our Hobgoblin Sorcerer, who is going to shoot, doing 20 damage. And I do not believe that the undeath player has anything to prevent it. This zombie already has 20 damage on it. It's going to take 20 more, and it is going to be removed from the game. Now, it's a level 1 creature, so the undeath player is going to lose 1 more morale. He's going to go from 10 down to 9, and this zombie card is removed. Now, this, of course, says during your deploy phase, you can pay 1 morale to deploy this creature from your graveyard. So zombies can come back from the graveyard if you want to pay the morale to do that. But until then, it is dead and removed from the board. Now, the Hobgoblin Sorcerer can move, and I think he'll move back 1 space to here, try to keep a little bit of distance from the skeletal rider of the undeath player. Okay, let's go back to the goblin area, and we're going to have the end of the turn. So right now we're at the deploy phase, so we're going to go leadership from 13 up to 14. We have 6, 7, we have 12. So we can deploy a creature level 2, or less. And our lowest level creature right now is level 3. So we're unable to deploy anything, even if we wanted to. And then, of course, we untap all of our creatures and do any end of turn effects, which we don't have. So let's just go back to the main board and wrap up the episode. Alright, that concludes this episode of the Tyranny of Goblins versus the Curse of Undeath. No casualties. Oh no, we had 1 zombie destroyed. So currently right now we have the morale of our goblins at 14, which is quite good. And the morale of the undeath player is sitting at 9. So they're going to have to do some slaying here if they want to increase their morale or try to get to some treasure. But right now our goblins seem to have that kind of sewn up. Alright, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time for the next episode of Goblins versus Undeath of Dungeon Command. Okay, thanks for watching.